What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Venomcast. I am your host, Mr. John K. To my left today is Mr. Garrett Rainey, as Kyle's little has taken a leave of absence. Yep, round of applause. I'll put in the applause later. I did it for Tommy, even though Tommy told me to put in booze. I don't listen. It's whatever.
And that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. He gets applause. It's okay. He doesn't get what he wants. And below me, we have the newest
I like
edition.
how you said that.
Yeah. Below me.
Below me.
We have the newest addition to the Venom record books. Ladies and gentlemen, another big round of applause for the man of the hour, Mr. Brantley Gainey.
All right. So cheers down. Cheers down.
Do you go by
Praise
Brantley Gainey Jr. or is it just Brantley?
Like
normally.
I have a lot of names. But yes, I'm called Rick, Little Rick, Brantley, Junior.
What's your preferred name? Just in your day-to-day life.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for.
Honestly,
asshole can't be acceptable for these purposes.
Yeah, we have to say it a lot in the podcast, and we try to keep it clean.
For my wife, it's ass. It's But that's what I answer to there is, hey, ass. Anyway, no, it's some people, when they say Brantley, it sounds kind of funny. And then others, so they call me Rick, and then everybody else just calls me Brantley. I'm pretty much, I answer to any of them.
So you would prefer us to refer to you as Brantley?
Yeah, Brantley's fine. That's what y'all know me by. Most of my family calls me Rick. It's my middle name is Kendrick, so that's where that comes from.
Oh, that's kind of cool. That's a cool. I like that. That's cool.
Like Kendrick Lamar, just not as nearly as rich. Yeah, I'm a little more pale.
I do see the resemblance, though.
Well, I mean, we could be cousins. You never know. I mean, if that's the case, Kendrick, if you're find yourself watching this shit show of a podcast at some point, hit me up, man. I need some money.
Oh my god, if Kendrick Lamar was into iRacing, I would crap myself.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was just asking for a sponsorship. I mean,
just a straight up.
I wouldn't ruin a pair of britches for it.
I'll just put damn on all my trucks.
I mean, just a full motion rig, and I'll put your name on the truck.
Yeah, because Kendrick Lamar needs my my help in the media.
If Brantley Gilbert wants to pick me up,
that's one for you. Yeah.
Perfect. Yep.
That would be a good one. That'd be like a match made in heaven or something like that.
The next dirt road race that we have, and then we can just do the dirt road anthem for my theme song entrance with Brantley Gilbert.
That's pretty
sponsored.
Good. Doing it live for Venom Truck Series.
Live.
So I suppose we should talk about this race. I'm not excited to talk about it. I know Garrett's not. I know Brantley is.
The shit show that was Atlanta you're referring to?
Yeah. Did you almost cry in your interview? It sounded like you were about to cry.
No, I was laughing. You mean whenever I was plugging my sponsor?
No, I think it might have been a little before that. It sounded like you were going to tear up a little bit.
I was super excited.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he's just really happy.
Yeah, I don't know. Did y'all hear me cheer over the radio at the end of that race? I'm not sure if I got the button.
You gave the Ric Flair woo.
Yeah.
Woo!
I went back and watched that, so I had notes for the race. I had
to chew on my cheek when I plugged my sponsor. So,
well, you can. We'll have you plug your sponsor. You could make a new plug sponsor.
As long as we don't plug Rim Job.
Yeah, Garrett's always plugging his sponsor. Shout out Golden Eagle, Roll Tide. Hey,
and Alabama Sunshine Hot Sauce.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Always need to plug them.
Yep.
Nice.
Do you want to plug who painted that truck, or do we want to wait?
Screw that guy. I don't know him.
All right, fair enough. So Atlanta, they turned Atlanta into a super speedway, and it is the worst fucking idea ever. No, it's not. First of all, that is an excellent idea. We need every track to be throttled down, and let's go. That's what we need. All of them. No. It was fun. It was fun for about 17 laps for me.
Yeah, you kind of ran the hell over the Canadian there, John. You want to talk about that? Let's interview you. So
that is my first note. The first incident, I will say it is fun. I wish the track was a little wider. I think if the track was, we talked about it last night. If the track was like 4 or 5 feet wider, it'd be a little more fun. But it's super speedway racing, and I had a rough night. Garrett had a rough night. Brantley did not have a rough night. Kyle's
I actually did have a rough night. I mean, I know I won it, but I didn't think I was even going to be able to be, in contention.
You hit the wall early, yeah, and you fell all the way back. I forgot about that until I watched the replay today. I watched the replay today, and I was like, I forgot that happened. And you had a near miss also. I don't remember which one it is. I was supposed to write it down.
I had several, especially there at the end. Pretty much every major incident happened directly in front of me.
Yeah. So let's hop into it. Lap 17. Some jerk driving the 2 truck. Don't know who he is. Wrecks Jeremy McKinnon. And it was 100% my fault. Watching.
Okay, stop. That's not at all what happened.
That's what my PR person told me to say.
Paul got loose, slid up the track. There was a checkup. John, 34th back in line, didn't see the checkup, and he cleaned Jeremy out.
Yeah.
Now we can proceed.
Okay.
I took the air off of Paul's spoiler, and it was not recoverable at that point.
Yeah, I thought Paul just pulled up in front of the top line, and I was like, all right, cool, we're just gonna keep rolling, whatever. And then next thing I know, Jeremy's just in my lap. I'm like, what the hell happened there? And yeah, not great to wreck or be involved in an incident with the guy in second in points. But that's super speedway racing, I suppose.
That it is.
Lap 36. After fixing damage, this was almost a caution, but it was not. Shout out Brandon Vyers. We can't mention him in Discord, so because we're talking and not texting. But shout out Vyers because Vyers knocked me back straight. But yeah, I fixed pretty much all my damage and got hit again. And it wasn't a yellow, thankfully, so we kept racing, but it sucked because it was more damage. And then lap 53, I think this was your close call, Brantley. I think Cole got up in the wall coming out of 2, and Rodney Matney, first time racing since, I think they said season 2 on the broadcast.
Yeah, he raced one time in season 2. He was my teammate.
Oh, yeah, for Super Kick, yep.
Right. And then before that, he'd raced 3 races in season 1.
Yeah, I want to say they said he had 4 career starts, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that all started setting up several laps before that because I got impatient. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
All right, let's, yeah, Cole gets up in the wall, Rodney runs in the back of him, and then spins back down the track in front of Garrett, ending Garrett's race and effectively ending Eric Breeding's race. I mean, Garrett didn't really have anywhere to go.
No, I mean, we were full throttle, and he come out of nowhere. I mean, I saw it happening, but everybody else had gotten the wall and just kind of kept it there. People got by him, they got off the wall, we kept going.
Yeah.
Well, during the first caution, Jan Van Leer was right behind me, and he got a little bit of damage off of it. So I was trying to get him to, once we went back green, to pull out a line and follow me and try to get in front of Rumen, but he didn't think his truck had it because it had some damage still. He couldn't get it fixed, and I think he didn't take tires. So the tires were interesting. They got real sketchy about lap 15, but then around about 20, 25 laps on them, they kind of evened out, and they were nowhere near as bad. But I got impatient and said I wanted to lead, and chucked out behind beside Vrooman, and there was a caution before I got in the wall, correct? Or no? There was a caution.
It was after the first caution when you got in the wall because I think you led a few laps there.
Yeah, I was able by getting the tri-oval was super fast. I mean, you could get a big run through the tri-oval on the outside, but that was about it. And that was just
Yeah.
because everybody was going so low in the tri-oval to give room, I guess. But
I
I
was gonna.
was
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was watching my Cole's truck and that other guy that had just joined back. I can't remember his name. Mattel.
Rodney Matney.
Matney. There you go, Mattel Toys. Anyway, I thought it was him. So I was watching my rearview mirror, and I didn't realize that Cole had smacked the wall. And turn 2, when you come out of it, if you don't start to turn down, I'd say in the middle of 1 and 2, if you kind of go a little bit past middle of 1 and 2 before you start your turn down, you're not going to turn down anymore. You're just going in the wall, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
So,
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that was the replay. Yeah, because we don't have a caution until later, another 20 laps later. So you would hit the wall between the first caution and this caution, because this caution you just barely missed. I think Cole kept it up against the wall, and you just missed him because you were not far behind him and Rodney.
Yep. Well,
And,
after I hit the wall, I stayed in the wall because I didn't want to take the entire field out from second. And no, I don't think it was Cole, because I managed to miss that wreck for the most part. It must have been somebody else. Now the one with Will, whenever he come up, that one I don't know how I have no clue on that one.
We'll get to that one in a second, because there's some big events that set that up.
Yeah,
I think
there's some big events.
Yeah, so we go 18 laps after that, and another caution comes out. The lap trucks had been doing a very good job. We'll shout out the megastar Michael Krall. We got to figure out a way to fit him in here. I told him I'd talk more about him this week. He got caught up in the first kerfuffle, and that pretty much ended his race. But he and Paul Sargent had done a really, really good job at, because the track is so narrow, because you're 2x2 for, I mean, we were 2x2 for what seemed like 80% of the race. They did a really good job of staying out of the way. And Eric Breeding too. They had done a really good job staying way low on the apron, in the corners, staying off the track when we were coming. And Eric was talking about it, and he said he thought he could get through the tri-oval or the quad oval. I don't know what the difference is, but and get to turn 1 before the pack got there. And I'm guessing that's what Paul Sargent was thinking too. So they were both. Eric, I think, got to pull down in time, or he was a part of the pack through the quad oval. Paul Sargent also, and then Corey Rutherford. And I will say this: we all did a good job of going through their, 2x2, passing the lap cars with them on the track still. And Corey, it kind of looked like Corey misjudged it just a touch. It's really hard to tell. I didn't watch it too closely. I just watched it in passing, and I was like, oh, that's where that started. It's hard to tell if Corey misjudged a little bit, coming down in front of Paul Sargent, but it ended up shooting him off onto the apron. And then Corey goes to rejoin, and Luke Carver, the 89 truck, he and me and Luke talked about it, and I would have done the same thing. I mean, it's a little worrisome when you see a truck go to shoot back up on the track, and you don't know if they're out of control, especially in a situation like that where you just pass a lap truck and he goes shooting off to the apron. It's like, oh god, here we go. So Luke drifted up just a little bit, and I got hit again. This one was a little worse. Spun all the way around, brought out a caution. I think Pascal hit me. I think is one of the people that hit me, and
seems to be a recurring theme, John, of you and incidents.
Yeah, I told you I had a rough night. Ethan Patterson is the other truck that hit me, and he went about 800 feet in the air afterwards. The walls.
Oh, that one, the wall grabbed him.
Yeah, and that's actually, I mean, I'm glad it didn't happen to anybody. Like, Byers got caught up in the wall, like you did, I did, Kyle did. it's crazy to think like how lucky each of us got not to just get flung like a booger.
I had a 0x and it was 28 seconds of damage to repair off of my contact.
Yeah.
But so in reality, it really wasn't that bad. And in fact,
Yeah.
looking at the replay, I think there was a scrape on the right rear of my truck, but that was it. It was.
Yeah. Brandon mentioned the same thing. He said that his had 0. He had 0 seconds of damage. He's like, I didn't get an X and I don't have any damage. But
yeah, I had 28 seconds, but they wouldn't enough to keep me away from
right.
moving. And oh, by the way, I do want to clarify this while I'm thinking about it before I forget. I didn't think I made contact with Luke at the end, but I did.
Oh, going into 3 and 4.
Yeah, I went back and watched my stream on YouTube, and I did have a contact indicator at the top. I didn't think I did, so I did move him out of the way for the win.
It was hard racing once you guys got to that point. We had a couple more cautions. Lap 99, literally coming to the white flag. Nathan, good old Nathan Reynolds, turns Austin Holyfield. That one took out Paul Ellison after Paul had a rough night too. Was leading early. Brantley wrecked him. You jerk.
Yeah,
had to wreck half the field to win.
Seems to be a recurring theme there too. They kept wrecking leaders.
That set up a green-white checkered, and then
I actually called that caution out. I don't know if iRacing would have threw a caution for that. Is the thing.
It is kind of a valid point. I think Nathan kept rolling. I didn't really see what happened to Austin. It is
well, they were
Austin,
bouncing
right?
around and coming back up, but I didn't. I saw them come back up the track, so I told Cole to throw the caution because I didn't.
It was a fair caution because there were 2 trucks that were just very hurt. One, I don't think Holyfield was able to continue. I know like Paul was hurt very badly.
I don't like the idea of not being able to get your, like, if you get in a wreck like that during a race, the caution should come out just like it does in NASCAR, so you do have an opportunity to get to the pits and still salvage some part of that race, So
I
it sucks it was on the last lap.
Holyfield did survive the wreck, and he actually saved me from being a part of the wreck on the first green-white caution, or green-white checkered, excuse me. So, for everybody watching this that did not race, Atlanta does not have a double yellow line like Talladega and Daytona. And we were told before the race, if you go below the red line, it's fair game. Just don't cause a wreck. Corey, seeing an opportunity on the first green-white checkered, tries to shoot a gap below Steve. He was like straddling the line, 2 tires below, 2 tires on top. And then they get together, getting ready to go into 3. And it took out Steve, Jan, Brandon Byers, Will Salamone, sorry. I had Salamander in my notes, so it just was reading. I mean, that was basically the whole lead pack. Luke Carver
got all my competition.
Luke Carver gets through it unscathed. He was leading the top row when it happened. And Brantley, how'd you get through that one? It sounds like you barely missed.
Was that the one that I just straight turned left and went down and just or was it the next one?
Well, it would have been.
It was that one, yeah.
It would have been. It probably would have been that one. The next one was just a little 2 truck incident.
I just knew I was going to get hit. I just knew I was going to get hit. In fact, whenever Paul on lap 18, I thought I was going to get hit on that one. Luckily, well, unluckily for you guys, but he was able to keep it up into the wall. But I seen the wreck, and I just said, well, I pedaled down and turned left. And luckily, being behind so many incidents all night, I noticed a recurring theme that everybody seemed to just kind of float up the track slowly throughout these wrecks. So I said, well, I'm just going to go to the end, down to the apron. Doesn't seem to be anybody going down there. And it worked.
Yeah, I got saved on this caution. I ended up having to restart behind Holyfield in the 30. I think his first name's Austin. I might be wrong. I might be a bad.
That's correct.
It is. It's Austin Holyfield. There you go.
He had engine damage, and I did not know that at the time. I did not know he was involved in the other wreck.
There were several meatballs that finished the race, weren't there, on the track?
I didn't know. I didn't look.
I think there were.
Oh,
because
new information.
I think it's well, thanks to my Phantom meatball at Bristol Dirt, I learned that you can go 3 laps under green before you get disqualified. So I guess staying on the track for the green white checkers wasn't a bad idea.
Right.
If you got a meatball.
But if you finish with that meatball, if I'm not mistaken, it gives you an EOL.
Well.
Pending results.
That would make sense.
But that's better than going 3 laps down and losing, a couple positions that way, on top of all the lead lap cars as well.
Yeah.
The only thing I would like to see going forward would be if we do have those meatballs, them be required to call that out and take an EOL there, just because the situation that it's set up where you had guys without damage behind them, it limited who you had racing for the win.
Yeah. Well, I mean, talking about trucks with damage, there was only one truck all night up until after the checkered flag that did not have damage, and we'll get to that momentarily. I probably should have died in that wreck too, but thanks to Austin being down on power, I was a little bit behind the pack when everything went kaboom in front of me, and Steve was rolling back down the track and rolling onto the apron when I hung a left, and I still don't know how I missed Steve. I didn't follow Cole because I saw trucks up top, and I saw a nice patch of tarmac, and I went for it, and then Steve was there, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, and I did not somehow. 2 guys behind me, I think it was TJ and Kyle Dumig. Shout out Kyle Dumig, by the way. He had a really good run going until that happened. I think Steve got hit by TJ, and then Dumig was right next to him and got collected on the apron. Yeah, I was not a big fan of the red line rule. I wish it was a double yellow line rule, but I mean, whatever.
Well, part of that, the reason I was against it, and I'll tell you why, is because let's say you're leading the bottom line there, the top line's pinching you down, you want to go below it, right, to give them room, especially through the quad oval. That was the sole reason, and then also final lap stuff. If people want to fan out, you don't want to have a rule in effect that people can argue with or against, saying, "Oh, well, they use that extra space to pass me for the win." So, it was one of those deals where everyone was warned beforehand. If you go below that line, you cause an incident, there will be penalties forthcoming. And it was made clear in the driver meeting as we were gridding, or rather in the warm-up period. So, I mean, yeah, I think it's an okay rule. We didn't really have a lot of stuff. I mean, one of the incidents that we did have was questionable. The other, pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
Well, the quad oval threw the problem because you kind of had no choice but to at least drop 2 tires below that line, coming in and out of it. It was really hard to feel where the trucks were. But looking back at the broadcast, there was plenty of room between the inside.
Right, but when you're sitting in that truck, it don't feel that way.
You can't.
And you definitely
like
want to squeeze somebody up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if they feel like they're getting squeezed, they're going to panic. Mm-hmm. Especially, let's say you're 6th, 7th, 8th in line. That is just not. We need to have that extra room there, just to give people that comfortability factor.
That wall comes up on you quick too in the quad oval. I noticed that. I thought I was going to smoke it one time and somehow managed to miss it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to remember what Chad said before the second to last restart.
He said that he had damage on his hood, so that he wasn't going to be, because we were actually talking about that in the ICR Discord, and he said that he had damage, so he wasn't going to be able to, keep up.
Yeah,
because he could see his hood. Well, actually, what he said was that he could see his hood.
Yeah,
so he wouldn't be able to
go. He did catch some damage in the caution, the lap 102 caution. I guess the damage really didn't affect him that much. He got a really good start. He was I mean, I think Luke led that restart.
Yeah, Luke.
He gave Luke a
That's when
good
Luke asked for the
advice.
instructions on how to fend everybody off, and I told him to just let me by, and I'd show him.
Yeah,
And it worked. I showed him.
Funny how that works.
Yep.
But yeah, so I guess Chad either got, I don't know what he did, but he got a really good jump. Tried to go 3 wide with Luke and Corey, and
I think he was clutching it a little bit, and I props to him there because I'm terrified to do that. Spin the wheels and take the whole field out there and
yeah, I don't know, but he got a really good jump, and then him and Corey racked up against the wall and sets us up for mad drama.
Yeah, I was on the catbird seat for that one too. Watch that whole thing unfold. I got a terrible restart on that restart. I think I was 3 or 4 truck lengths behind him whenever he was trying to make that move to the outside. And I'm gonna say that I don't think Corey wanted the chance getting into the wall. There wasn't much room there whenever he moved up. So and again, just turn left.
You restarted on the outside row, right?
Yeah, I was behind.
Yeah.
I was behind Corey on that restart. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think I restarted. Pretty sure I restarted behind you, and because I ended up restarting 4th for the final green white checkered, and yeah, had way too much damage on the truck. I got a decent restart the restart before, but it was you and Luke lined up on the inside, me and Ryan lined up on the outside, and
I had Andy behind me,
and then Andy behind you, and I think Holyfield restarted behind me, and then Garrett was behind him. I think is how that order went on that last.
You talking about on the final? It was Cole behind.
It was Cole behind me. Okay.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because Cole went to the bottom. I was expecting a little bit of help to try and get to Ryan, and Cole just dipped below me, and I was like, shoot.
Yeah, I came back out on the track for the final 2 restarts. I saw Crawl was 4 laps ahead of me, and he was no longer running. And so I was like, if we can get at least one more caution, I'll be running. And so I'll get at least one position here. And Paul was still running. I saw John was out there. I saw Luke was out there. Brantley was out there. There were some guys didn't have wins, teammate, and then obviously John, good friend. And I was like, you know what? I can go out there and help somebody. I had a new motor. Why
not? Yeah, so I couldn't get to Ryan down the backstretch. Brantley moves.
Yeah,
Luke
I didn't think I did, but my because I even told my wife, and she's the one that pointed it out. She said, "What's that green bar at the top, man?" I was like, "Oh, I guess I did make contact with him." Whoops.
It wasn't very much. It looked like you were just trying to push him through the corner, and
yeah, I had just on that restart. I said I'm just going to push Luke. I'm happy with 3rd. Podium be nice if I can hold off. I didn't think the outside was going to go, just because of the whole race, man. The travel was going to be where the outside was going to go, quad oval, whatever.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is. So I said I'm just going to push Luke. I think he lifted a little bit, and that's probably why I made contact with him. He probably got a little loose going into that turn. At least that's my story. He lifted, and but now also he did enter a little bit higher. I think he was driving his mirror. I think he got a little excited.
Yeah, I think he
had it.
I think he talked about that in the broadcast too. He said nerves got to him just a touch.
Yeah.
Hey, it's easy. It's easy to be chasing somebody. It's not easy to have them chasing you.
No.
Yeah.
I think it was season 3 Talladega. Me and Michael Dean lined up on the top, and I was watching my mirror big time, trying to make sure I kept Dean lined up. And it's tough. It's tough to watch out the mirror, but then, we were both excited, and it just happens. push came a little too early, and we took out like 3/4 of the field, but it's okay. But yeah, you did a good job of suppressing your nerves. And
yeah, I didn't think I was going to be able to hold it off. Yeah, because
you had Andy behind you then.
I had Andy behind me, and Cole was actually questioning me why I was dropping so low to the trival. And I, in my mind, what I was doing, because I knew Andy had damage, and by doing that, it was taking his run away, but it was also hurting me too because I no longer had a push. So, but yeah, held it off, man. That was wild. I did not expect it.
What did Cole say to you when he dropped to the bottom and joined that bottom line? Because I think that's what won you guys the race. You guys had all the energy. It was you, Luke, Andy. Before you moved Luke up, it was you, Luke, Andy, and Cole. I should have dropped down and just taken it, but I did not.
It was radio silence, man. Nobody was saying anything. Jan may have. I don't think Jan almost just quit out. He was so mad because of that last wreck.
Yeah.
He said, but no, I'm gonna stay.
He was up front a lot.
Yeah, he was up the front the whole race. He was being super conservative. He didn't want to, because he knew what we knew. Eventually, this was going to happen. But yeah, it was super super quiet until I crossed the finish line and the scream started. So
I thought Cole said something. Then we all joined general afterwards. I thought Cole said something about he was going to push Andy through you to push you, or push through Andy to push you.
He may have, man, but whenever I tell you, I was hyper focused. It was like, man, I'm fixing to do this. There's no way I'm fixing to steal this win.
Most focused you've ever been in your life. You are, my friend. You are a one-time Venom Truck Series race winner. That is
the presence of a champion. Yes,
presence of a champion. Which comes not too long after a very heartbreaking ending at Dover. So it's good to finally get the monkey off your back there.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. You thief in the night. Just, I mean, yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I meant to bring it up earlier, but
I'd have done the same thing.
I did not wait.
I blame it on Andy because he went a little sooner.
See, that's how you know, Brantley, that I'm a better person than John, because I did not steal the win from Will at Atlanta. I let him have it. I had 4 or 5 opportunities to dump him, send him. I didn't do it. I kept it clean. I just rode behind him, let him have his win. John over here, he'll just drive right by you and steal you win.
He just stood on it and said, I got enough gas to make it. But yeah, and on that note too, what was it, Richmond we ran in the Classic Cup? Was it?
I wasn't there for that. I've only raced Dover and Atlanta.
It was the one that Jeff Langston won, and I had chased him down from like 7 seconds. I could have turned him easy, but I just stayed behind him because I didn't want to push the issue and wreck somebody just to steal a win. But
I didn't wreck nobody.
John K.
I didn't wreck nobody. I just passed.
I guess I need to make armbands that say have WWJK on them. What would John K do?
Don't do that because it's not. It usually does not end well.
Yeah,
it's usually the wrong decision. Yeah. So that's Atlanta. What's next? What's next week? Oh, Wilkesboro.
Wilkesboro. That's where we're at in 20 minutes, which is.
Yep. I was just about to say it's almost time for Venom Classic Cup. So you guys will be watching this on Friday. Before we go, I do want to pull some trivia out. I know the answer. I'm very curious to see if either of you know the answer. This race is very pivotal in the story of Venom. Brantley Gainey, what race did you get your first top 10 at, and when was it?
It was North Wilkesboro, season 3.
No,
it wasn't.
It wasn't.
I'm gonna go with Texas.
Yes, sir. It was.
Oh
Texas.
God, it was Texas. Yeah, that was the one. Oh man, that was all the drama.
I don't talk about Texas.
We don't talk about Texas. Who won Texas? Oh, that's right. Nobody gives a shit.
That's when Garrett went to the Big D. I mean, Yeah, and he doesn't
I
mean
just held
Dallas.
my line.
All right. That's enough. We got to go practice for Venom Classic Cup. Brantley, you want to plug your sponsor or sponsor your plug
Absolutely,
or whatever?
man. Rim Job. Rim Job, wheels with taste. They're fantastic. They specialize in a special starfish design that they can engrave. You okay, Garrett?
No,
You
I'm
all right
not.
Yeah, it's and yeah. So yeah, chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water. There we go. Limp Biscuit plug.
I do want to say one other thing before we go.
Yeah.
Venom drivers, keep your eyes on team news.
Oh,
There will be some major changes. I believe. I don't know this to be true yet. I'm hearing rumors from multiple teams, multiple drivers. Major changes coming your way in silly season between 5 and 6. I don't know any details yet. Already. But yeah, John, I forgot. Yeah, you're already a free agent. So
John K is a free agent.
John K is out to be had. Somebody go grab him.
Not down there, Jesus.
Yeah, he will definitely pass somebody out of gas to win.
Tommy, this is not for you. This is not your part of the show.
I can't fucking do this. Make sure to like and like and subscribe. We're done. We're done. Thanks for watching.
I'll be here all week.
All week.
Oh my god.
I really wish the one where Hatton said, "Have y'all tried these little white balls before?" I wish that hadn't been deleted because that was awesome.
Oh my god. All right. I'll wait for your cloud to clear and then we'll go live.
Oh no, don't wait for my cloud. It's going to be ongoing, my friend. Like Snoop Dogg in this bitch.
All right.